Hi friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. Today I'm going to talk about my E3 impressions. Now I haven't watched everything. They had a segment on PC gaming and Devolver, I think digital, and there's a few that I missed. The Nintendo one, I had to take my car in for service this morning and I missed that one. As I don't have a Switch or really have any plans on buying one, I'm not going to really talk about that. The things I'm going to talk about, the same thing with the PC, gaming segment. They had a show for that. I don't care. I'll never play those PC games right now, at least not for now. Not interested. So I'm going to talk about the things that I would typically be interested in as a console gamer. It doesn't mean I'm just going to watch the Sony conference just because I have a PlayStation 4. It's I wanted to see the Xbox conference. I'm still looking for a reason to buy an Xbox One. Aside from, the backwards compatibility, which so far, that's it. There's no other reason to buy one. So should I spend hundreds of dollars or $500 for this, Xbox One X just to get something that has slightly better games? I can't see the difference. The PS4 Pro to me looks fantastic. I don't know whether it's 4K, checkerboard, it doesn't matter. I like it. I've already made a huge investment in PlayStation 4 games, but I'm still open-minded. So I said, okay, I'm going to see, for once, I didn't watch it last year, I didn't watch it the year before. I've been very disenchanted with E3, the last couple of years in particular, because I clearly see a direction. So this time I actually forced myself to say, you know what, I'm going to work. It hasn't slowed down, but I'm working on a project where I'm doing a faux finish in a house. And each day there's a certain segment I do. It only takes a few hours. So I've been able to come home for a few days in a row, thank God, and be able to actually watch some of the E3s. I missed some of it, but some of it I was able to watch. I watched, I think, the the EA conference, the Xbox conference, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Sony. So I've seen a few of the conferences, at least the ones that make a lot of the games that I typically would be interested in buying. So I'm just going to, right off the bat, preface this by saying I'm going to deal with the elephant in the room. To me, this was the worst E3 I've ever seen. One of the reasons was the pandering. I have never seen an over-the-top, excessive array of political pandering, and let's just call it what it is, SJW type crap that's laced throughout these games, because a lot of these devs, unfortunately, have very left-leaning, progressive politics, and they're just going to infuse it. Whether you like it or not, you're going to take it right up the ass. You're going to take it. And I try to be open-minded, but I can only take so much. So to me, I was disgusted with a lot of it. It doesn't mean that I don't like gay people, or it doesn't mean that I don't care for for people with we'll say I guess more liberal politics. Most of my, like I said, the majority of my friends have fairly liberal political views, and that's fine. I don't push my viewpoints on them. They don't push them on me, and we get along fine. Occasionally we've had a few heated exchanges over certain dynamics, but for the most part, I get along fine with them, and I appreciate, as a libertarian, I like a lot of personal freedoms. If people should be free, if you want to marry, two women want to get married, or two men, that's great. As a libertarian, I'm all for it. You want to smoke pot? Great, go right ahead. I think that it shouldn't be illegal. I think that a lot of the things that we're overly restricted with big government, and I'm for more personal freedom. That's what I'm all about. But it doesn't mean that I want to embrace those particular things, whether it's, certain types of drugs or, or gay marriage. I mean, if you're into it, that's great. And like I said, I've got friends from high school I still have very good friends with today that are gay, and I get along great with them. I've been invited many times to hang out with them, and some of them are out of town, and when I go see my friends in Fresno, I go out of my way to see my good friends I've known for years, and I don't care about that. That's great. We have a great time. Go out and have a great meal, have a great time anyway. I got friends that follow me on my channel that are apparently gay, and that's fine. That's great. I support you in whatever you want to do that makes you feel fulfilled as a person, but I don't like seeing it infused in my games. I just don't want it. As a person that plays for role-playing reasons, that gets immersed in the role, playing as a man It's fine. Like, I'm excited about the new Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It looks great. I will buy that game. I will probably get a special edition of that game or something because I love the series. My wife and I both have loved the Tomb Raider series going back to the PlayStation 1 days. So to me, I've got my quota in for playing as a female. I have no other interest in even those games. As much as I loved that 2013 Tomb Raider reboot and the older Underworld and a lot of those other ones, I can only get immersed so much. I feel very removed playing that game as that character, but because my wife likes to watch me play, and I feel like I'm playing her as the character, it's kind of fun. And I get through it, and I have a good time. But it's just like 50% of the games, you get a female protagonist, or then the new thing, which is the most worrisome, frankly, even more so than the pandering, is the always online shared worlds. It's an open world where it's shared. It's a community. It's a lot of this socialist crap that we're going to have, in gaming. And God forbid you go on any of this Fallout 76 videos where they're talking about, how it's off, online and all this stuff. I just made some simple comments. Yeah, I'll be boycotting this game. I love the series to death. But the series dies for me when they do stuff like this, and it's forcing you to go online. It's not what the game's about. I don't like it, and God, the hate. Okay, you can go, for your information, one person boycotting. It's not going to change. I said, dude, it's more than one person. There's actually a petition out there. Not that it will do anything. There's actually a petition to make it an offline single-player game, but it'll never happen. It's a joke because we're in the minority. What I see, the trend, before I get into the whole E3 thing, what I see is a lot of people acknowledge these things, they see the same things that I see, and they don't like it. But yet they go ahead and do it anyway. It's like, yeah, I don't like this, I don't like that, but who am I kidding? I'm going to play the game. I want to play the combat and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, you're part of the problem. This is why we're going to just keep getting more of the same. And eventually, one day you're going to wake up and you're not going to recognize the games you're playing, and you're going to delude yourself and think that you're having fun playing this always online, shared world and all this shit. But someday it's going to be gone. You're going to play as a character that you're not really into, that with just a lot of things that grate you the wrong way, and you're going to play it, and you will have some entertainment and fun out of it, but it won't be as satisfying as past games because you've helped to cater, you've helped to pave the way for these games by buying into it. So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to go through my list. I'll put my old man reading glasses on here and try to get through this. So I think I started off with the EA deal initially. Of course, they got the Battlefield 5, another elephant in the room, with destroying it. In my last video, I actually mentioned something about the Battlefield 5 thing and playing as a woman, and my reverence for World War II and my grandfather's sacrifice and many like him and all this stuff. And I had someone that says, oh yeah, I watched your whole video, but I don't understand this. What is the problem with having females in battle? I don't understand why you can't say. And I'm like, dude, I already explained all this. So I had this lengthy argument with this person who's like, I know his political views are very left-leaning and very progressive. So he was triggered because I just made it clear, God forbid, that I stand up and say, I'm going to be put in a re-education camp if he had his way, to where I think like he does. He doesn't like the fact that people actually can think for themselves, God forbid. And he's a relatively well-liked YouTuber in a few circles over in the UK, but I was just mortified, and I just said, it sounds to me like you feel triggered by this and you're singling me out. And he said, well, you're the one that asked us to come forward with our opinion if we have I said, no, what I said is, let me know how you feel. How do you feel about gaming? Do you feel it's going the right direction? Do you feel it's not? That's what I was asking for. I didn't ask for you to nitpick my personal views or political stance or any of that. That's not what this video is about, but he insisted on trying to, get that out of me. He wanted to hear me, say that I had a problem with it. And it's like, I eventually just deleted the comment and blocked him. I said, you know what, dude, if you're going to be combative with me and be difficult, and then he said, oh, well, you know what, you are coming off like an old fogey, an old fart, and, you're only showing that you have no, you can't respect other people. And it's like, dude, you obviously missed the point of my rant. You're gone. Click. I'm done. I'm not going to put up with it. I love people's opinions. I like to hear all sides of it. That's fine, but don't make attacks personal on me or people within my comments. Don't go after them because it's uncalled for. We can all enjoy games, and we like what we like. I had someone that was triggered because I didn't like a lot. Oh, we got all these great new games. I can't believe you don't like them. You don't like God of War. What's your problem? It's like, dude, I'll say it again. I'm not into medieval type period games for the most part. There are some Lord of the Ring games that I would, only because I love that universe, I would kind of like to at least try them, and I may not like them, and a lot of them are pretty heavy in hack and slash. I'm not into hack and slash. I'm typically not into medieval, Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim. Even though I appreciate the mechanics and the wonderful work that Bethesda's done to create those worlds, and my nephew comes over and I'll watch him for hours. He brings his hard drive over, plugs into my 360, and I just watch him play Skyrim, and it's fun. I enjoy watching it. It's just not something. It's not the kind of combat and the setting and characters and the period. I mean, I get bored with it. It's just not my thing. But if I see someone else having fun playing it, I'll sit and watch it. So anyway, with that said, E3. So they talk about the Battlefield 5. Again, the show's, more footage of, again, multiplayer. It's all about multiplayer, online multiplayer. And I guess they're going to have the war stories, which is kind of a single-player content. God only knows what they're going to have. So I would like to get the game and play it if it has a single-player campaign, just for the campaign. I don't care if it's 4 or 5 hours long. That's fine. I'll pay the full price to play the campaign if it's relatively decent and accurate. So now I'm going to have to wait. I'm definitely not going to pre-order that one. I'm going to wait and see reviews. I want to see reviews on the single-player campaign. I want to know what's in it. And if I'm forced to play as a woman with a fake arm and all made up like a slut, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I can't. I have to boycott that game on principle. It's just me. A man that won't stand for something will fall for anything. At the end of the day, I stand for something, whether you believe in it or not, whether you like it or not. Those are my convictions, and I have to be able to live with myself and be congruent as a person. And I honestly believe if more people would do that and make a stand with your wife, if you don't like microtransactions of DLC, then don't buy it. Make a stand and don't buy into those games that are top heavy with a lot of microtransactions, whatever. I understand that. I get it. It's not a big problem for me because I don't play multiplayer games that have a lot of that stuff in them. But I urge you, if it bothers you, then make a stand. Then don't buy it anyway, and then complain about it, because then you're part of the problem. You're paving the way for more of the same. I've said it over and over and over. So Battlefield 5, we'll see. They started with FIFA 19. I'm not into soccer at all. I have no interest. Jump Force, some strange anime thing, good graphics and everything. It's just way out there. I don't understand. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a characters or something that's part of anime's world. I don't know. I don't think about it. I have no interest. Unravel 2, I didn't even know about the first one. I think I did see pictures of it. Looks like a cute platformer, I'm indifferent at this point to that. Sea of Solitude, a strange game. Again, they show like little bits and pieces of CGI cutscenes and maybe gameplay. I don't know, but it's like it's so vague. And is it now? Is it, coming out a year and a half from now? I don't know. Anthem. Okay, here we go. A living, shared world. A continuous open world. These are all code words for basically online up the ass. It's a server rental. So you can buy your shiny, nice package and disc and everything, but it's just someday it's going to be a memory and you just toss it across the room. So I'll have nothing to do with, but Dean, it has a single player. Yeah, I have to go online to play it. I'm not paying for PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold. I'm not doing it. It's not the money. It's that I have no interest in those games. And if I buy into that shit, we're going to get more of it. We have too many people playing those games as it is. Way too many. I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. I am for offline single-player games. I'm desperate to hang on to a few of them. And though it's, I'm forced to play as a female right off the top, it takes 50% of the games right off the top, gone. The other ones, I got to go play Anthem. I got to play it online. Okay, that's gone. So, what's left? What the hell is left for me? Not much. And I'll let you know the ones that are left. Now, they have this Jedi Fallen Order thing. Now, obviously, there's no release date. We don't know if it could be 2.5 years from now. And I guess it's a single-player Star Wars story. Maybe it's, I don't know. It looks good. I'm open. So I put a little asterisk by it. I was like, okay, that's interesting. If it's offline, if I'm not forced to play as a female. If it filters through all those things within my criteria, and I'm still interested someday, maybe I can play that one. So I put a little asterisk by that. So I'll be watching for that one. They got a Command and Conquer mobile game. I don't do mobile games. I have zero interest. I can't see. Handhelds, I can barely see up close. My 3DS, I have to have my latest, this is actually not my latest pair, I need to have my very best, latest prescription glasses on, and I can't see. Handhelds, I have a problem with, so handhelds are out. Okay, Xbox conference. It looks nice. They always have a nice stage. I like the lighting, the indirect halo lit lighting on the lettering, and it has a very dynamic look to it. So visually, as a conference, it looked very, very cool. And it's like I'm watching. Part of me is like hopeful, like, God, just give me something that I can look forward to buy your fucking Xbox One. Give me a reason. I didn't. They showed multi-plats that look good within their, it's a world premiere. First, you saw it here first with Xbox. But it doesn't mean it's going to be an exclusive. So, their exclusives, Halo Infinite. Okay, the word infinite's code for, a continual shared world. It's always on. That's what I think. That I'm just nervous right off the bat. I'm like reading between the lines. So, they got a new game engine. They're going to start off with a single-player thing initially, and because they're testing a new game engine. If that works out good, then down the road they'll pave the way for the multiplayer. So, we'll see. I'd like to try the Halo games, and I'm slowly buying them for the Xbox 360 and the original Xbox. So, we'll see. They had Metro Exodus, which looks outstanding. Now, I did ask the dev on Twitter. I just said, I'm going to ask them. They never respond to me. I just said, can I play this single player offline, or is it multiplayer online, or what? What is this? And the guy came back and says that one of the devs said on the official Metro Exodus thing, he says that the Metro series has always been a single player experience. There will be no multiplayer. It will be single. Of course, they didn't tell me that it's offline or online, but I'm assuming it's offline. So I have a little star by that one. I definitely love the Metro Last Light and Metro 2033. I bought the remastered ones for the PlayStation 4, so I'd like to give those a shot. Forza Horizon 4, again, it's a shared open world. Well, again, code work. So now you get your first Forza game that's going to be an online-only fucking mess. I'll never touch it now. So I don't care if you even have the driver tars, don't have them. I'm not messing with it. So unless I hear otherwise, and it doesn't look good. So it takes place in England, which is so packed with cars you can't even go 20 miles an hour. But yet they get people, wide open with no traffic hauling ass over the countryside. Dynamic weather. We're going to have weather, snow, and blizzards and all this stuff. Who cares? I don't race in bad weather. It's one of the things I didn't like about the Project Gotham Racing 4. I don't want to be forced to drive in snow and rain. That's why I moved to California. I don't have to do that anymore. They put all this shit in games. Let's make it extreme. What can we throw in there to make it even crazier, Whatever. Fallout 76, they showed it, at the Xbox thing. Of course, it's online only, so I'll never touch it. It's so tragic to me. So tragic. But I'll save that for the Bethesda thing. Gears 5. Now you're going to play as a chick in Gears 5, Gears 4, 5. I laughed so hard I thought I was going to throw up laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, are you serious? A Gears with your big tough guys, giant shoulder pads and a chest that's enormous. Oh yeah, Gears, man. You know, I mean, and I love the Gears. I have all 3 of the Gears. I haven't played Gears 4. But it just, I almost vomited laughing. So, I mean, I won't touch it. On principle, if I buy that game just to play the gameplay and force myself to swallow and just, you know, take it up the ass as a chick, I can't do it. I can't, and I won't. I'm sorry. They got the Gears pop. I don't like the pop things. They look ugly, look demonic with the black eyes, soulless eyes. I don't get the attract. People go crazy. Collect millions of them. I'm not into it. They got some other Gears tactic game, which actually does look really cool, but it's a mobile game, so I won't be playing that one either. I did like the way it looked, the little top-down tactic thing. It actually looked pretty cool, but I'll never touch it. Dying Light 2. Now, this one really looked good. I'm suspect as to, is it a big, you know, a shared online open world? I mean, you can make moral choices and little decisions and crossroads along the way, and within that thing, you know, you can affect the story and the way the world develops later. So, I mean, I love that aspect of it. I think that's brilliant. The Dying Light game, I got the following, the special edition, enhanced edition of it. I'm anxious to play that game because it looks really good. It looks like a, you know, kind of like a dying, or a Dead Island with parkour, obviously, and a lot of other stuff. So it has some new mechanics in it. It looks good. So I put a star by that, because now again, I'm going to wait and see. If it's online only, I'll never touch it. I won't touch it. Devil May Cry 5, I don't care. I'm not a fan of it. I've never liked the hack and slash mechanics. I'm not into the characters. It's wasted on me. I'm not interested. Division 2, wasted on me. A beautiful concept. Again, a great concept. Beautiful shots of Washington, D.C., where I used to live when I lived in Silver Springs, Maryland, during the bicentennial on top of it. So I love that world. It's like, but you're forcing me to go online and to play this fucking rental that you control with your servers. Fuck no, I'm not doing it. So that's off. Black Desert, another MMO, you know, I won't touch that one. Session they show, it looks interesting. You know, a lot of people were kind of hoping for a Skate 4 EA thing. I love Skate 3. It's really kind of a nice skateboarding sim, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm open-minded. I put a star by that one because I like skateboarding, and as long as it's not like that Steep game. Now here's another game, Steep, that EA did, I believe. Beautiful concept of mountains and, you know, snowboarding, and you can fucking wingsuits and all this stuff. Beautiful concept. I would have bought that game day one, pre-ordered it. But no, it's another shared world, always online thing. I won't do it. If you bought that game and you don't like always online games, then you're part of the problem. Don't buy those games. And people after the fact, oh, I didn't know it was online only. Dude, people need to research this stuff and make a stand if you don't like those games. We're getting too many of them. And I will never, ever buy one or play any of those games. And that's the direction. That's what this E3 showed me, is they're clearly paving the way now, in Xbox in particular. Yeah, Xbox doesn't have any new games because they're building a whole new... They've acquired 5 new studios. They're going to start... And you mark my words, they are paving the way for an online-only, server-based online future. That's what Xbox is doubling down on. They say, fuck the exclusives right now. It's all about... They're paving the road now so that 3 years from now they're going to go nuts. When everyone, you know, follows, you know, buys into this new world order of always online shit, Xbox will be there to take all the money. So, when it's not a console, I'm getting behind because of that, sadly. And then they showed this Cyberpunk 2077, which to me looks outstanding. I really like what they showed, all those kind of heavy CGI cutscenes, but and it's a CD Projekt Red, whatever that company is that makes The Witcher 3, which I'll never touch The Witcher 3. You know, oh, Dean, you got to play The Witcher 3. I've got hundreds of hours on it. I'll never do it. It's just not my thing. I don't, the whole world and setting and swords and arrows, it's not my deal. But if you like it, that's great. But I do like this, you know, kind of a dystopian Blade Runner type look, mixed with Ready Player One or whatever the thing is theme they're going. It looks good. I like the cyberpunk theme. It looks really good. As long as I can play as a dude and I'm often playing as a chick, it looks great. So I put a star by that. I'm definitely going to be watching a lot more stuff on that one in the future. The Cuphead sequel looks good. The Cuphead looks good. I'm not always up to playing a really hard, challenging platformer, but I do really like the Cuphead thing. It's not enough for me to buy an Xbox One just to play Cuphead, but if I ever got one, that would be a game I probably would get because I really like it and I want to support things that are hand-drawn with artists, real artists that are working those. I like that quite a bit, so it looks good. I like the Cuphead sequel thing look good. Show Kingdom Hearts, I'm indifferent. I don't understand. It's a popular thing. It looks like a kid's thing. I don't know. I don't understand it. They got Disney stuff laced throughout it. It looks crazy, but you know, if you're into that, that's cool. Captain Spirit, another little kid thing. I don't know. It's like, clearly there's a lot of younger gamers coming up, and kids need games too. So I don't want to shit on something that kids might like. If kids like these kind of games, and you enjoy these Kingdom Hearts and Captain Spirits and all that stuff, that's great. You know, I mean, it's a good thing. Crackdown 3, I think they pretty much, you know, showed near the end. It's tragic because the Crackdown franchise is one of my favorite franchises. I love that cel-shaded look. I love how you level your agents up by finding ways to get at these orbs, and then the more you get, the higher you can climb and jump, and bigger, heavier things you can pick up and throw. You start off with a dumpster, next thing you're throwing cars across the street. It's kind of like a superhero kind of a thing without following any, you know, set in stone comic book character. I'm typically not into the comic book movies at all. I'm not, I hate to say it, I don't like Spider-Man. I like Batman, that's it. It's like it's somewhat realistic. A guy's a dark knight detective, and it's Superman puts his arms up and he flies across the universe. It's crazy. Even as a kid, I couldn't get into it. I like things that are relatively rounded in some form of realism, so I can, you know, even like Fury Road's like way out there. It's crazy, you know, all the stuff they show, but it's somewhat grounded in a sense of realism for the most part. But anyway, so Crackdown 3 looks interesting. At least you're not playing as a chick. I might have no problem playing as that black guy, Terry, whatever his name is. I've seen him in deodorant commercials or something. That's all I know him from, is I saw him in some Old Spice commercial or something. So for whatever reason, he's in this. I don't know who he is. He's some actor or something. I haven't watched TV in 1,000 years. So I don't know who all these people are. It looks okay, but like the jumping looks like way out there. Like you're just jumping over whole buildings and blowing stuff up. And again, I think it's all about the cloud. If you're the cloud, then you can blow up buildings. But if you're offline, oh yeah, I'm sorry, Dean, but you know, you can't bring a building to its knees or city to its knees. So I'm not interested. I'm not going to support that. I won't do it. Okay, now we got Bethesda. Rage 2 looks great. They showed more gameplay. I like what I see. I love the world. I love the concept. I certainly love the first Rage. But again, and I've asked the devs. I've asked Avalanche. I've asked id. I've asked them on the official Rage 2 website, please, can someone tell me, is it offline or online? Will there be a solo offline campaign? Please answer my questions. Of course, they won't answer it. They won't answer it. At least that Metro Exodus thing, you know, at least they answered. Because they can see that I'm interested in a single-player game. It's like, would it kill you to answer the most rudimentary questions? I don't get it. I don't get it. So, I mean, we'll see. I put a star by it because I certainly want it, but I'm holding my breath, man. And if it's one of these shared open world, continuous open world things, I'm not going to do it. I won't do it. I won't play an online game. Elder Scrolls 6, I think it's an online thing. I'm not interested. No interest. Elder Scrolls Online DLC, no interest. Mobile games, I could care less. Doom Eternal. Now, this looks interesting. put a star by this one. This one, if the word eternal has me nervous, kind of like the Halo Infinite. When I heard the word eternal, immediately I say, okay, that's code for we're going to control this games as a service. It's always eternally going on. You're going to enter this shared world and experience. I mean, you know what pisses me off is that Bethesda just less than a year ago made this big thing. Oh, we stand for single-player games and offline games and all this stuff. It's all a bunch of bullshit because they're reneging on their shit now and coming back, and they're force-feeding us this online server-based shit so they can milk the shit out of it. And you're going to buy it, and you're going to buy all the DLC and the shit. So Doom Eternal, yeah, more Doom would be good. I still haven't played. I've got the 2016 one and the strategy guide. It looks fantastic. I just watched this wonderful historic thing, like a documentary on Bethesda from their humble beginnings. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Talked about how they made all the Elder Scrolls games and Oblivion and did everything. You know, Rage and all the id Software stuff. It was really very enjoyable. And I watched one on Doom as well, which was quite good. And how they developed the new Doom. It was very, very enjoyable. So it's just sad to see studios that I love that are going in this direction that I think is going to hurt gaming in the end. It's going to hurt game collecting. You will not be able to archive and hang on to a Fallout 76. Eventually that game will no longer, it probably will be a buggy mess. You can't even use VATs because you got to do it in real time. So the game is like a fucked up, watered down, it's going to be a chaos sim is what it is. They can't have any real, NPCs in there with real quests or anything. It looks like a disaster to me. So Doom Eternal, we'll see. Hopefully it's offline, but we'll see. The next one is just absolutely kills me. Wolfenstein Youngblood. It's probably a spin-off thing, It's going to be a co-op. Here we go with a co-op. Wolfenstein was never going to be about multiplayer with machine games, and now they're reneging on it again. They're going back. That's going to be, you got to play as BJ's twin daughters. Oh my good God, now I got to play not as one, but as two females. I don't care if their father's BJ. I love the setting, 1980 and with Nazi. It's just, what a tragedy. I just see pandering. And to be honest, this is precisely why I've been in no hurry to play Colossus 2. Because I've already had a half a dozen friends. Dean, it's laced with SJW stuff. Now, I've seen a lot of reviews, and some people think it is, and some people think it isn't. Of course, naturally, machine games, the way they marketed it is to try to market it to people that are, the anti-alt-right or whatever. I'm not an alt-right person, but, the game is clearly marketed for, being against people that are against, America, the system. I guess they kill off a guy named Ronald Reagan in the game. And it's just, there's a lot of very suspicious things about the game that I've already seen in, profiles on the game and reviews and stuff. It's so sad. Machine games, what's wrong with you? Do you have to infuse every game with your politics? Can't you just make a nice story and just try to make it more neutral and leave politics the fuck out of it, please? So I'll definitely be, boycotting Wolfenstein Youngblood. I won't do it. Sorry. They got some cyber pilot Wolfenstein VR thing. I don't know what the hell it is. It'll be a VR deal. Maybe it'll have a PlayStation, VR thing. I might be interested in that as long as I'm not having to be forced to play as a BJ's daughter or whatever. Fallout 76 Online, what can I say? I'm just absolutely heartbroken over that. The minute I heard the very first rumor that it was going to be, don't get your hopes up, single-player gamers, I go, here we go. Here we go. Now Bethesda's poured themselves. Sold out like a fucking street hooker. Amazing. Quake Champions Online, not interested. Prey DLC, Moon Crash, and they have a multiplayer, asymmetric multiplayer DLC coming. If you're into that, that's fine. It looks like a nice studio, and it's nice that they're supporting single-player offline game. Starfield will be a solo single-player experience, but will that be, again, a big shared world? Is it offline? Who knows? No dates naturally on that. So that I put a star by, just because it's single-player and it's a sci-fi type thing, it looks good. Okay, next getting on to the Square Enix thing. They had a pretty short, I think it was like a half-hour deal or something. They had this Tomb Raider, Shadows of the Tomb Raider. Some people picked it apart because of the hair tessellation or something. I don't know. It seemed all right. Captain Spirit thing, I'm indifferent. Dragon Quest, not interested. Just Cause 4, as it is, I have the third one, and it's, I guess you've got to be in the server. You can't even pause the game. I still don't even know if the game is technically offline or online. I don't know, but supposedly you can play it offline, but yet it reminds you to go onto a server constantly if you pause it. I don't know. I have the game. I've got at least the vanilla, and I started to play it, and it actually was fun. It looks like a fun game. I like the way it looks, and it plays good on the PS4 Pro. This new one is more of the same. They're going to make tougher enemies, and that's fine. More vehicles and tanks. That's great. But they're going to have this extreme weather thing. We had tornadoes. We get storms coming and going, and it's like, I just want to have fun. I don't want to be in the middle of something. Okay, what now? It drove me nuts in the Mad Max game at times. I'd be right in the middle of doing like an important fight or a quest or something, and all of a sudden when these fucking storms would come, and it was like, really, of all times, right now you gotta come. And you had to like find a shelter, and you're getting blown away, and it was just crazy. So I didn't even put a star by that. I may pass on that. Just stop with the extreme. Just give us regular games. You don't have to keep adding more shit. This is extreme mindset, Pop down some more energy drinks. It's extreme. It's going to be extreme. So, Just Cause 4, I'm almost indifferent. Quiet Man, a couple guys fighting in an alley. I have absolutely no idea what it's about. It doesn't look interesting to me, but, what can I say? And they showed a bunch of other online games, so that's it for that deal. Ubisoft started off with a Just Dance 2019 or something. Does people still play that? Okay. Weird characters, just people made up, running around, jumping around. There was I've heard other people say this. There was a lot of like cringeworthy shit in E3, and the Ubisoft thing was laced with it naturally. But what are you going to do? Beyond Good and Evil. I never played the first one. I have no idea what it is. Something with a fucking chimpanzee and a fucking pig that's like a chef or something. And all of a sudden it jumps and there's like spaceship, beautiful CGI shit. I mean, gorgeous, big spaceship, looks like a fucking, old World War II battleship, but it's in space. It's just crazy, way out stuff. I mean, is this a series? I must have missed this. I don't know. It looks crazy. I like to see some gameplay of it. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know what it is. Division 2, not interested. Skull and Bones, another shared, online only, MMO. I love the concept of it. That's why I like the Black Flag Assassin's Creed 4. I love the pirate ship dynamic to that game and the sea battles, but, they got to have this online thing, so there's another Sea of Thieves thing, but whatever. Okay, now they show this Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, this I liked. They're going to introduce more RPG dynamics and elements to it, which I think is a great idea. I absolutely love the Greek setting. It looked beautiful. I'm part Greek. My mother's Greek. My father's Scotch-Irish, so even though I got the wavy Scotch-Irish hair and Thompson is my last name, I've got the dark rings around my eyes being Greek, and doesn't mean I've got a preference for young boys or anything like that just because I'm Greek. But I do talk with my hands and break plates and shit like that, so I do have a lot of Greek mannerisms. But so I'm looking forward to that. It has beautiful huge vistas of Greece and these mythological kinds of things. Reminds me of kind of a little bit of 300 in a way. I love what I see. What I love about it is you can choose to play as a woman character or a man. I think that's great. Just for that reason alone, I will pre-order and buy the deluxe edition of that game because I want to praise them. Good for you, Ubisoft. I'm not a big Assassin's Creed fan. I've never liked the biblical, it was in Jerusalem. I don't know where the first one took place. I played like 5 hours of the first one, 5 or 6 hours, and I just lost interest. I couldn't get into the world, that era. I'm not a big fan of. Now, typically, I'm not a fan of these really old Roman type things, but I do like the Rise Son of Rome. I've always said that looks good, and I like this kind of Greek mythology and the Greek battles, and that's the aspect of the God of War, the earlier games that I do like. So I put a star by that one. I will definitely be buying that. That'll be one of my first Assassin's Creed games, along with Black Flag, will be this Odyssey. I really like it. I didn't like the one in Egypt. I have no interest in playing Egypt at all, but this one I really like a lot. It looks really good, so that's good. The Crew 2, I'm indifferent. I will not support a game that is taking gaming away from games that you own and can play offline, so I will not support it. Trials Rising, coming out February 2019. That looks good. I love the Trials Fusion. I have Trials HD, Trials Evolution. I've bought all the DLC. Bought all the DLC for the Trials Fusion as well. I probably will get that one. It does look really good. I think they had another one, wasn't it? Did they have another one that was like an 80s theme, like Blood Dragon kind of? I'd like to find out more about that, and I never did get that one, because I love the Trials games. They're quite fun. They showed a Donkey Kong DLC thing. I guess it's for the Switch guys. That's great. I mean, it's good Nintendo supports more of that kind of stuff. Transference, some VR game. Looks interesting. It's got like real life animation or real life filming techniques. But yet it's a video game. VR experience. Interesting, but nothing that really jumped out at me. Starlink, I don't know what that is. It looks like another big open world thing maybe. I don't know, but the Nintendo variation will have, you can play as a Star Fox thing, which is kind of cute. I love that. I had Star Fox for the Super Nintendo and did enjoy it quite a bit. So that's it for the Ubisoft thing. Ubisoft. No, Ubi! Sorry, I always think when I think of that Ubisoft name. It's a strange name. So they got the Sony deal. So they start off with this elaborate thing. They've tried to create this same environment that they're going to show in the cutscene. I kind of saw all this kind of, they're creating a tone, a mood. They got the guys out there playing the banjo of the original music from the fucking Last of Us, which is very moody and atmospheric. It's really creating a tone, the soft lights and all that stuff. And then they start off with this cutscene. And I saw it coming. I saw the guy with a girl. There's a girl, Ellie, and she's talking to people. And now the people have kind of, they've settled down and they're starting to assimilate and, having somewhat normalcy in their life. And they're meeting in some church. So they show this big, lesbian big romance scene, and it's like it's every thumbnail. It's like first and foremost, here you go. Here goes the pandering in your face. It was so in your face that it's a turnoff. So then the time they show the gameplay, which looks brutal, I'm all for brutal, violent, visceral combat. That's great. I love it, but there's no Joel. They didn't show Joel at all. They mentioned some reference, the old man doesn't know I'm here, or so, I don't know, something in there. So apparently he's still around, maybe, I don't know. But nothing about Joel. And even when they showed, by the way, they showed the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they showed the woman gameplay, never showed the man as man. It's like, this is the new world, the soy boys that like to play as girls or dress up as girls. It's just, they're blurring the line of any normalcy. If you're a straight white male, you're on the chopping block. You're in for re-education. You won't have it. So The Last of Us, they showed this, good, interesting gameplay, cat and mouse gameplay. A lot of it was heavily scripted by the looks of it, but still a good night, beautiful animations. Naughty Dog does good work, but I won't touch it. No, if I can see, you show me gameplay where I can play as Joel and play, then maybe I'll invest in it, but I won't buy it. I got to play as the two lesbians. Maybe we'll trade off between the two of them. I won't do it. I have friends of mine. I didn't like that either, but I do like that combat, so I'm going to go ahead and get it. I'm like, dude, you're part of the problem. but I've already been down that road, so. You got to do what you want to do. Ghost of Tsushima or whatever, beautiful CGI cutscenes with these beautiful autumn leaves and the samurai thing. I'm not in. I didn't like the last samurai with Tom Cruise. It's not my era. I'm not into hack and slash. So it was wasted on me. Beautiful cutscenes. If you're into samurai type games, and it looks like a great game. You know, it's not my thing. But Resident Evil 2. I didn't like the first one. I bought it the day it came out, the first Resident Evil. I hated it. I played hours of it too. I got pretty far into it. I didn't like the very limited, okay, here's 2 bullets and that's all you get. You know, I hated the resource controlling, radically limiting your resources. I absolutely hated it. So, and I think I played the second one at a friend's house, and I wasn't a big fan of it either. But, you know, everyone loves it. Everyone's going apeshit over the Resident Evil 2, so they're going to have a remake, I guess. You know, I guess that's good. If you're another zombie type game, I don't know. I'm not a Resident Evil fan at all. I can't get into the series. I've tried. My nephew likes it. Is it Resident Evil 4? He loves it. He comes over and I watch him play it. It's fun to watch him play it, but I just couldn't get into it. So, but that for those that like it, that's great. Death Stranding. They showed Control. Another girl protagonist. Another one. It's like it's right down the line. So what can I say about that? Death Stranding, I mean, I have zero interest. I don't, this Kojima guy who's, you know, ripped off John Carpenter with the Snake character. I've never played any of those Metal Gear Solids for that reason, because it bothered me, even though John Carpenter's indifferent, he's a gamer. Oh, sorry, I guess it's, you know, it's good. You go ahead and use Snake guy if you want. I mean, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care if they remake Escape from New York. He just doesn't care about nothing. And it kind of shows in his later films, sadly. And I think the world, I love John Carpenter, but the Kojima guy he's of no notoriety to me. He's a guy with his crazy cutscene lace stuff. It's way out there, I guess. I don't know. So it just was crazy. It's like a guy's like a baby. It shows a baby's ass and a baby's face, and it shows a guy from The Walking Dead, Norman Reedus, sort of walking around with boxes. He's at an airport climbing a hill with airport luggage, and then he's going down a hill, and he's in a cave with some broad, invisible, crazy character. I mean, what can I say? Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks good. I have no interest in playing it. I've never played a Spider-Man game, but I know many of you are really looking forward to that. That's good. If you look forward to it, I'm glad that it looks like the God of War. It looks very well polished. They put a lot of thought into it. The combat looks very fluid and fun and nice. If you're into that kind of thing, that's great. It's just not my deal. Days Gone, I put a star by that one. They should, like a brief thing, I would have liked to have seen just 5 minutes of that, but God forbid. So the one game I wanted to see, Days Gone, they showed like a 30-second blip, gone. That's it? So, but that's the only game. The whole Sony conference, that's the only one that I'm interested in. To me, it was a lackluster concept. Very strangely paced, strange tone that they were setting at different points of the conference. Very odd. They got the people moving up from one thing, arena to another, the people in the audience. Just, I don't know. Twin Mirror, who knows what that is. They showed a lot of weird shit. Not enough gameplay. Show us more gameplay, please. Tetris something or other effects. I have some VR game. I don't know anything about it. Destiny 2 DLC. Could care less. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Back in Black Edition maps or something. So they're going to bring back the old maps from Black Ops 1, 2. That's kind of cool. For you guys who are into multiplayer, I know some of you really love those older, especially like Black Ops 2 maps and stuff. They're going to have a lot of those maps. It looks like that probably would be good. It's not nothing I'll get, but I could see people buying that. I don't know. Some Pirates of the Caribbean, Kingdom Hearts, Disney. I don't know. Maybe I'm 55 years old. My taste has changed. I don't know. I'm lost. The Kingdom Hearts is a big thing, I guess. I don't know what it is. Tales of Vesperia. I know they're going to make a remake of that. Square Enix or one of them. It's another one. It's like in fact, I bought that game for a friend of mine in Canada. He couldn't find it up there, and I actually bought him that game and mailed it to him, the 360 game. he was like very pleased. Oh, thank you, Dean. I can't get this game, and he's like, well, I know nothing about it, but I got it off eBay. Here it is. Enjoy. I was an adult when the PS1 came out. I was like 33, 34 years old. So I never got into all these little kiddie games and stuff. So it doesn't mean that I can't respect them and that I couldn't have fun. Rayman Legends. There are some of those platformers and kind of fun. Gex. I really like Gex, and some Paperboy and games like that are fun. That's great, but it's not my thing. So that's my E3 impressions. I'm sorry that I can't be more optimistic. I know some of you are just ecstatic. You're seeing just dozens of games that you're excited about, and if you're excited for them, and if you can live with them being, a lot of them being online, and with all of this pandering, and maybe you're left leaning and you think that stuff is great. You want more lesbians and more gays in your game. The Bill guy that they had in the first Last of Us, I had no problem with. It was beautifully written. And it was just believable. It was like realistic, and I had no problem with that. But when you put it front and center and force feed it, like Ash and the aliens with that penthouse going down Ripley's throat, you're forcing it down my throat. And I have to play as that character and choke on that. So the developers who are hate whites and hate guys like me can say, oh, this will just, they're going to just take it right up the ass. Here it is. I can't do it, and I will not ever be a part of that. I can't. I'm sorry. I just cannot do it. So I'm making a stand this E3 for the things I like. I told you the games that I like. There's a few, about half a dozen at best. Again, some of those may not be out for another year or so, but I found a few things that it's a shame, because back in like 2012, I would buy 5 or 6 games a month. Every month there were tons of games that were interesting to me. My room is filled with them. I've got over 200 Xbox 360 games. I got over 200 original Xbox games. I'm someone that clearly loves games. I've got hundreds and hundreds of games, and thousands probably, in my collection. So it's not that I'm fussy and I'm not so. I'm just with today's games and what they're putting in today's games, and the types, the nature of the games, being always online and shit like that. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I mean, in my last video, I said, is it me that's changing, or is it the game industry? It's not me. And a lot of people said, Dean, it's not you. It's the game industry is clearly changing. And it is. Yeah, I'm changed a little bit. Some of my taste. I was willing to try more games at 32 years old when the PS1 came out than I am today. Today I know what I like. My time is so limited. I've been trying all weekend to play this the Vietnam DLC, Hours of Darkness, whatever the hell it is, for the Far Cry 5, which looks really good. And it's got pretty mediocre reviews, but it looks good to me. But I hurt my back really bad. I've been working hard. I fucked my back up. And then all weekend I've been laying pavers out. I made a new patio with these pavers and concrete out there and for my barbecue area. And we had a patio cover built. I had to move the barbecue out and make a new big area with pavers out there. So I fucked my back up lifting heavy things of sand and bricks. And so now I can't even game at the moment. I really miss playing my Horizon Turbo, whatever it is. I'm playing my little arcade game. I downloaded I Am Alive off the Xbox Live Arcade for the 360. It looks like a really good kind of a survival game. I wouldn't call it survival horror so much as a survival game in a post-apocalyptic world after earthquakes and shit. It looks really good. So I'm anxious to start that soon. It looks like a fun short game. We can probably play in 5 or 6 hours. I've got some other DLC I've been downloading. I've been trying to get it while I can because the Xbox Live Arcade, supposedly they may pull the plug this year, so I'm kind of desperate to get a few more games and DLC on there while I still can and get them in my hard drive. Same thing with the PlayStation 3 store I'm doing as well. So anyway, that's my E3 thing, guys. Put it down in the comments what you're looking forward to. What games are you looking forward to that you saw? You can put your reasons for why you'll either buy them or not buy them or whatever if you want to down below. I'd really like to know. I always enjoy reading your comments. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and enjoy your games.